Tonight's story is something different. I've playtested a new dungeon crawling section of the rules twice on my own, and we're going to try it together. Don't expect too much. So Ariansa Melldale, back from a very disturbing adventure into Arlanuk Town's mega basement in some dreamlike world beyond, has decided to clear her head the next day by visiting Yuleg-Ore, the abandoned dwarf city not too far from Arlanuk Town. The Powers Laurel, who likes making memorials, has claimed portions of this city, and the Powers Speleoth, who likes caves, has also claimed portions. And it's the time of turbulence, so random monsters and things are also happening. This dungeon crawling system is not for dungeons that are all packed with rooms and monsters. There'll be exploring that happens in 10-minute increments and things that happen there. So Ariansa arrives at Yuleg-Ore. Perhaps she has some magical way to travel. We'll worry about that another time. I'm not really worried about how this fits in anything canonically. But she is there, and she's first going to see what it is like going down into the city. Most of these rooms are empty, large cavernous hallways, lots of dust and cobwebs. So she needs to take a travel action to see what she finds. So this involves first checking how her journey fares on the random spreadsheet. She realizes an intermediate stop, slightly off her expected route, might be helpful. That costs her a little bit of composure. If a medium hearthwork or intuition check is successful, then she becomes set up well. She does. Set up well. I need to make a note of that. That's an old phrase. I'm just going to translate that today for her getting her composure back. Good enough. So there's some interesting thing that happens as she goes down. Let's see what room she finds. Large rectangular room, obviously abandoned, dusty, faded. And there's some sort of rails or tracks along the wall near the floor. It has new doors heading out. And we need to see, she's not very good at wilderness skill. There won't be any treasure in this room. But she's traveled around for 10 minutes. Her first torch is lit. And then for her second time span, she can explore this room more thoroughly. Before we move on, though, after every time span, we check for complications. She hasn't used any heroism, so just one die. There are none, which means there's something happening with traveling creatures. Random monster. Some Shadow Dark style orcs. They are expert at bargain wonder. They could cut off the hero's escape route. They're distracted by loud noises. I'll roll and see what inclination they have. They are suspicious. And how close by are there? Looking here. Across the way. So one of these doors is open, and she hears some orcs have come here to explore. Since they're Shadow Dark style orcs, they cannot use represality and become invisible. They're from some different place than Speragia's orcs. But she doesn't really want to go in their direction. Not sure how safe they are. She's by herself. And if there's any treasure that way, then they have already found it. So she picks a different direction and heads out. She's not going to spend a time span exploring this room. She's going to just keep going farther away from these other explorers. So again, we check how a journey fares. She realizes the strange relevance of a hummed song, a recited poem, or an asked riddle. This again costs her some composure. She finds an L-shaped room that has some tiers to it. And there's one new door that's accessible, as well as a place blocked by a stone slab. She has no way of dealing with that right now. Okay. And again, no treasure in this room. She is not skilled at exploring and is having terrible luck. So that orcs group, the group of orcs was singing a song, humming a song as they were exploring down that previous passageway. And she realizes now that it is a song that um, is related to what they're expecting to find. But I'm not quite sure in what way yet, so let's just leave that out there. Okay, she'll spend another, and then afterwards we need to check for complications. More creatures. And there's some sort of person that is like a dog or a wolf, maybe some werewolf or something like that. It's confused in tight spaces and can give its foe a condition with a ranged attack. So I'm going to look up the reiver Mutt. And it's hostile. So she spends some time exploring this room a little bit more. Not really, it's still the second time span. But she's about to, and something comes through that new doorway. And maddened it attacks. Fortunately, there's only one of these creatures, so she's going to declare that she's dodging as her preparatory action and draw her sword and try and chase it away. She isn't actually interested in killing it, but she certainly doesn't want it attacking her. Unfortunately, she misgauges its armor, and the armor deflects that blow. It's going to attack her. It tries an enormous swing, but telegraphs its motions too clearly, and Ariansa steps out of the way. At the end of this round, she's going to spend some heroism, of which she has plenty as a solo adventurer without too much armor. And she's going to try and use a stealthy move to impair it with a dirty trick. She manages to do that. It has a penalty to its die rolls. Then she swings her sword again, but stronger, trying to get through its armor. It twists away. She will spend her heroism as if there's no reason not to. It manages to connect. By doing 3 points of damage in one round, she has slain it. Very nice. So she's sad that she had to do something not peaceful. Does this monster have any loot? Let's do a check here. It does. So she gets some gold coins. Now she'll have a time span. Well, she gets her heroism back as that time span ends. And she's going to search this room, see if she can find anything more here. Oh, it was immediately obvious. With that much success, let's say she finds a document. She finds an old invitation to officiate at a private event with instructions of how this would be helping someone. It also has information on it about some distinctive path or tracks. So some old dweorg so many years ago, perhaps this was a place that someone with religious importance would give small lectures from. That's why this L-shaped room had some tiers for people to sit and watch the speaker. And after some speaking event, then, or maybe this was where he officiated at some private event, gave some benediction to the other dwarves who lived here. Interesting clues. Fourth time span, she's going to go through the new door, the one that the reiver came out of. What else is down this way? Are there more of those reivers? So we will check how a journey fares. Visiting a friend or ally might supply her with information or a useful mechanical device. She gets one more composure. And visiting doesn't make sense here, but there was a conversation she had before leaving Arlenac Town to go on this adventure, where her friend gave her some advice about these dog people. Let's see if she remembers what it is. She does not. She wished she paid more attention to what her friend told her. Failure means something thought to be important is actually unimportant. Well, the only thing she has right now that she thought was important was the songs of the orcs. So she's misinterpreting those. She needs to light A new torch? Oh, when she explored the room more thoroughly, there was a chance that she could find some other torches here. She does get one more. Some other explorer had left an extra torch in this room. Good for her. So the next room, a cramped rectangular room with a secret closet. And a sloped floor and an archway leading into a hallway. Interesting. What could that room have been? First, let's see if there's any treasure here. There is potentially treasure here. Now, she'll spend a time span to actually explore this place. Oops, I'm sorry, before she gets to actually explore it, we have to see if there's complications. Something far away or minor. A new important question. Does she notice the secret door? She's quite perceptive. Oh, she certainly does with that roll. So, as she starts the next time span exploring this cramped room, then what's through the secret door? There's a treasure hunting compass, which belongs to someone who would be offended by its history. So this reiver Mutt that went mad and attacked her was long ago the pet dog of someone in Arlenac town that got transformed into this dog monster. And his collar at the same time became magically transformed into this treasure hunting compass. The adventurer must have come from Arlenac town with the dog, and something happened down here in the abandoned city. That's disturbing. In any case, the person might want this back. It has the dog's name, and if it's a dog's collar, it probably has the name of the owner, maybe even where they live. So she can return this, but she also can use it and have it direct her to some treasure. So I'm going to say that's what the gold was, and we'll put in an inventory a dog collar tag turned into a pendant. A compass. And when she touches it, it activates. And it leads her through that archway. Does she want to explore this room more, see what else might be here? I don't think so. It was small and cramped, and there seems to be a sad story here, so I think she will keep traveling and not look for more. How does her next journey fare? Visiting a friend or ally might supply you with information or a useful item enchanted by musing. Etiquette. Okay. Something thought to be missing is actually found or owned. So she makes her way to another L-shaped room with fortified walls. I'll angle this one so she's kind of entering in that way. It has some barricades in it, pools of water, and 2 archways leading to longer hallways. There's a threat of combat. So perhaps down one archway she hears the orcs continuing their exploring. As she clambers over the barricade, is there anything here? A distant complication, a weak complication. Dealing with a person or creature requires her to get new authority. She overhears the orc saying something that makes her wish that she wasn't just a lone adventurer with no special status. The orcs might be good allies if they would respect her and work together. She's going to keep going down the other hallway. She remembers one of her friends that would be good to have with her, someone of either military fame or noble status that could recruit these orcs. Anyway, down this hallway is an unavoidable ambush, attack, or other physical danger. She loses 3 stamina, almost knocks her unconscious. She needs a medium escape or gamble. She certainly can do that this time. Our next skill check has a big penalty, but she comes to an oval room. It's being used as a monster lair. There's tables, 2 new exits. What kind of monster is here? A soot thrower. Soot throwers are like a bone covered with soot that throws soot, and when it scampers across the floor, it sounds like many bones rattling, even though it's only one bone. It's a bugaboo, a nightmare creature. You can only see it if you've put normal soot on your eyelids. Does she know this? Her lore is not very good. Oh, but she does. She has heard of this particular type of nightmare creature. So let's start with her spending her turn trying to use some acrobatics to avoid this thing as she grabs some of its soot. There must have been a fire in this large room. Something happened to attract the nightmare creature here. And we forgot to check if there's any treasure. A little bit. Well, she doesn't want to get too close to this thing, so she will take out her bow, kind of back down into the hallway she came from, where she knows she's a little bit safe, flatten herself up against the wall, and try and shoot this thing with her bow. She makes a medium hit. It's a bugaboo, so she has to hit it with an easy, medium, and tough attack. She knows that. She doesn't know if the order matters. Soot thrower is going to try and throw some soot at her. Oh, I forgot. She had a big penalty on her roll, but that's okay. She's going to try to intimidate it. So she's also at the end of her action going to use wonder to intimidate it, and can do that for 2 turns. So it doesn't get its 4-sided die. She waves her fire around and yells at it, saying, I am the fire being, you do not scare me. I have injured you, run away. But it is not running yet. Okay, it misses her. Good thing for her. She'll take another shot. And now she gets all 3 of her dice. And she did the medium. So let's say this was the tough attack. She makes that after spending some heroism. And we'll swing back at her. It tries for a strong hit, but she dodges the bone without worrying. She is dodging, by the way, as her preparatory action. Okay, now she only needs the easy hit, which she makes without needing any heroism. And the soot thrower vanishes away back to the realms of name. She'll use up her second torch to explore this room. Does she find any other torches? She does. There was some torch that survived this room's fire. And is the item of the treasure seeking compass here? Yes. So she finds as one item from her used up torch. She can still carry a burrowing peephole. Useful to put a peephole in any door. She can sell it when she gets back to Arlenac Town. The treasure hunting compass has done its job, found the nearest bit of treasure. Exploring this again did that, so we're back to the new set of 4 time spans. She lights that new torch she found, and that's where we'll stop for now. What will happen with the patrol of orcs? How much deeper into Yuleg-Ore will she explore before deciding to turn around and go home? She's been relatively lucky finding more torches, but can't rely on that. And her stamina is very low. So I think her next thing before we stop should just be to rest. So is this location safe? It is. So she gets her stamina back. Okay. Well, out of story, that means I can clean up all my papers and not worry about keeping track of where that was. So she's rested, used up her ration, so she can't rest again till she finds another ration. And she's probably in the mood to explore a little more before heading back. But that's another story.